Hello there, one and all. You know who I am, ETTemplar, Supreme Misfit, Professional Dipshit. And before we jump into this TikTok reaction video, we're gonna get into this, and I'm gonna go through my reasonings why I think this is bullshit. But on the real, though, if there's women who are faking shit like this, you are taking away the very legitimacy of crimes and sexual assaults against women. You are taking away and making their stories less and less believable and putting them in a bad light because you have decided to come up with this fake story, this imaginative story and event for views and likes and engagement on TikTok. If you have to ask me personally before we get into it, people who do this are pieces of shit. And when I see anything on TikTok, when it has to do things of this nature, I instantly think it's bullshit, because in reality, if something bad happens to you, you're not going to be firing up a fucking TikTok for views and things. The first thing you're going to do is contact the authorities or contact somebody to help you. So without further ado, let's get into this video.
Everybody be aware, don't go to fucking beach in a hoodie and fucking sweatpants.
It's a sweatshirt and sweatpants. So you kind of see where the details, if this was a real event, you know, details are important.
Because
Also, the book she's reading is upside down, for God's sakes.
creepy men will just come up to you and grab your fucking ass and then fucking propose to you, because what the actual fuck?
So let me get this right. Some random dude sexually assaulted you, grabbed your ass, and then proposed to you. Right.
What the actual fuck? But shout out to the group of guys.
Happened.
She's gonna throw these group of guys under the bus. So these white knight guys, these imaginary guys that stepped in and fought for honors to watch.
I don't know if they were like watching. Or
Also, it's such a bad event that you have to add in a voiceover work after the video. Post editing there, I don't know. I know I'm sounding like a dick here, but
or like if they just like saw it out of the corner of their eye because they were like, yo, what the fuck? Like, and they were like very.
we're like burying like stuff in like in things.
I wanted to make sure I was okay, but what the fuck? I feel like I'm gonna throw up. I hate people. I hate fucking freak.
She hates people and she hates fucking freaks. Interesting choice of words. This is why most men, this is why there's a like large section of men like me. If women can do this shit, that's like for men, that's career destroying. If someone was to come out and allege shit like this, it's fucking career ending. So she's just doing this for clicks and views, taking away the very real legitimacy of very sexual assault victims out there and making those cases seem less and less more serious, because she is such an attention-driven thought that she needs views on TikToks, that she needs attention to play a victim, a SA victim, and it's just fucking disgusting.
Why is everybody a fucking freak?
Everybody be aware.
Everybody be aware. And I don't want to assume too much about this woman, but something tells me that she's the kind of woman who says shit like, oh, men need to stop objectifying women. Men need to stop seeing women as sex objects. But yet when she's out in the club or a party, probably wears some of the skimpiest shit to grab men's attention. Or when she's at the gym, she wears those fucking like booty yoga shorts that leave nothing to the imagination. You might as well be naked. She seems like that kind of woman. She also seems like the kind of woman that does those fucking workout videos where she's like, look at this pervert checking me out at the gym. It's like, well, you are wearing something that's akin of like a bodysuit, and not that I'm, you know, justifying it for the dudes checking her out, but A little bit of modesty goes a long way. Just throwing it out there. But yeah, this is the world we're living in, where this woman will come up with this bullshit story with very few details, and very likely, if you're a victim of some sort of crime, the first thing you don't do is fire up a TikTok. Usually, the first thing you try and get someone's attention, and you call the police, and you deal with it that way. And but yeah, something tells me, again, most people on TikTok, no offense, I believe, are mentally ill, narcissistic freaks, and they can't live without attention. And more than likely, I also theorize that they have no faith or belief in a god, so they have to fill that hole in their soul with shit like this to get attention, and to feel like loved and to get attention. But yeah, the really disgusting thing about this is that she came up with this bullshit event, and it's making a mockery of the real victims of sexual assault and gropings and whatever. But yeah, I don't know. There's a whole lot of missing details. Usually, if something bad happens, you remember every detail. Of course, it's not the case always, but yeah, what a load of shit. Unbelievable. But that's TikTok for you. Fake it till you make it, even if it's throwing other people under the bus and real victims of crimes under the bus, because you are such a beautiful little angel. You need that attention, and oh boy, poor little baby. Fuck off. So because we need to hit that 10-minute mark to land in that juicy algorithm, so my advice to this woman is work on your acting. See, if I were you, if you're gonna sell bullshit, sell bullshit. Like, if I were you, I would have torn the shirt. Like, I would have poked a hole in the shirt and like torn it, around your chest region. I would put in more fake crying. I would yeah, I mean, if you're gonna sell bullshit, go the extra, like, storyboard out some horse shit, right? If you're gonna be a lying piece of shit on this level, go full bore. Come up with a backstory. Have the camera going in your car like it's a dash cam, right? And you open the door drastically, and then and then slam it behind you when you enter the car, and then fumble around with your keys and put in the ignition, and then do a story. At least be entertaining. If you're gonna be a lying, just degenerate piece of shit, right? Like, that's the thing. You can't. This woman, like, can't even put forward the effort, like, to it was like Tana Mongoose, right? You remember her? I think that's who she was. Big YouTube influencer that had story time videos, and she would just come up with bullshit. The one clip of the one video I did watch, and you guys remember, some of you, where she goes, "He literally raped me with a toothbrush," and it's like, really? Because then one, that's a crime, rape, and with a toothbrush, I think that's added issue. So you didn't go to the cops before telling this, she never really, to my knowledge, like, embellished on what happened after. There wasn't a follow-up video where it's like, oh, I have to go to court for 4 days to prove, my case, and he's going away for 4 years for rape and sexual assault, right? So obviously that story was horseshit to begin with. So, and that's why most men avoid women like the plague. If women are wondering, oh, how come men won't approach me? How come men are involuntary celibate? How come men? Because of shit like this. And if you get one woman, like, from our perspective, that's this crazy, that even as bullshit as this clip is, you've seen, a lot of people would buy it. And if she attached a name to that, and a man, and a description, he would be fucked, because a lot of people would believe her just verbatim, and he would be destroyed. It's like the Johnny Depp shit, right? Where there was a whole bunch of crap there, and she was the violent one of the relationship, but she cried crocodile tears. And so that's why most men are standoffish. Even with the white knights that supposedly aided her and protected her in this story, she didn't even say thanks, or she didn't embellish upon that story, that section of the story. She didn't really say thank you. Or maybe now this shit's giving me amnesia. But even that part of that story was like kind of suspect. I just hate people and weirdos. It's like, well, that's my God. It's just mind blowing. Now that I'm thinking about it, you notice how she never states a specific location, which is doubly scummy if this is a true story. Let's say, for example, I was sexually assaulted or accosted somewhere, right? I'd be like, hey, look out, there's a bunch of fat goblin bitches on 4th Street and 24 before the pier and at the beach at Santa Monica, right? I want to put like a little marker to make sure to warn people, or like, oh, hey, don't travel here between 8 and 9 because there's some goblin bitches that will sexually assault you, right? So that's another thing that's like pretty suspect about all this. Yeah, hopefully you found this clip and reaction entertaining. I'll see you next time. And of course, there'll probably be more TikTok trash eventually. But yeah, it's just, wow. Unbelievable.